Distraction is one of the quietest thieves of legacy. I will say that again. Distraction is one of the quietest thieves of legacy. Purpose-driven habits require saying no, 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 more often than you even realize. It also means when you have purpose-driven habits, you're reducing unnecessary commitments. Because once you committed to all of this, your best friend did this, or somebody you really like and admire did this, and you want to show up for people. And don't get me wrong, but if you keep showing up so much, when are you really allotting time to do some of the hard things? So purpose-driven habits also require creating structural boundaries. It's protecting your time for what compounds over years. What story is your habits telling about you? And is the story really what you want to leave behind? That's the question I want you to think about today. Hi, I'm Sybil, your host for Faith Based Optimum Living, where we talk about emotional wellness, faith-based living, and a purpose-driven life. I am so excited that you're here with us today. We've been talking about building legacy in this season. And today we're going to move a little bit deeper into a conversation that most of us have been asking ourselves, or some of us already have answers for. And that's taking our purpose-driven habits and building that legacy space, right? Taking our purpose-driven habits, and we want to see how our daily decisions build or break our legacy. Today, we're talking about what it looks like to go from vision to impact. That's what this whole season has been about. Season 4 is really about going from vision to impact, cultivating a legacy that transcends generations. Today, we're moving from definitions. We took the first 3 to define what legacy is. And today, we want to talk about discipline. Because legacy is not built in grand gestures, right? It's not built in grand gestures. Although we think that life is about big things, it's about the small things we do daily. It is built in these small places we call habits. And habits are simply decisions repeatedly being over long term. We keep doing it over and over. And it actually helps to shape our identity and how people see us. If you want a legacy that outlasts you, you must examine what you're doing consistently. Because daily decisions either reinforce your purpose or quietly erode it. Let's get into this episode. Let's define purpose, right? The big question, why am I here? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? How do I know my purpose? Let's define it. Purpose is the reason for which something is created or for which something is done, or why something exists. Let me say that again. Purpose is the reason in which something is created, something is done, or which something exists. And I like to break it down this way. Culturally, purpose is often reduced to passion. What you're passionate about, what excites you, what energizes you, what you enjoy, but passion fluctuates. Biblically, purpose, we say, if you're faith-based like I am, then we usually say it's a calling. It is something about your assignment that you're supposed to do. It is your alignment with why God designed you. Calling is not about what feels good. It is about what is faithful. And then we have what I like to dive into because I think it's important to break it down and show you all the different definitions. Psychologically, purpose is connected to meaning-making theory. Researchers in positive psychology have found that individuals who experience their lives as meaningful, listen to this, not just pleasurable, demonstrate higher resilience, stronger motivation, and longer-term fulfillment. I'm going to repeat that. Psychologically, purpose is connected to meaning-making theory. Researchers in positive psychology have found that individuals who experience their lives as meaningful, not just pleasurable, demonstrate higher resilience, stronger motivation, and longer term of fulfillment. Meaning sustains what emotion cannot. Because, we got all these emotions on a Monday, on a Tuesday, and then by Friday, we don't have these emotions, these passion is gone, right? So purpose is not about excitement. Although we can get excited about what we are designed to do, purpose is not about excitement. It is alignment between identity, conviction, and responsibility. Woo, the big things. Purpose is not discovered in moments of excitement, although someone may have told you that, but it is actually confirmed in moments of being obedient, right? But I like to say it this way. Purpose is not found in excitement. It is uncovered in our patterns, strengthened through responsibility, clarified by friction, because we know we have friction in life, and it is also confirmed by what you're willing to carry over time. Purpose is the reason, again, you're designed, and it is not about excitement, because you can be living and doing purpose, what you're created to do, and not always feel excitement and not always feel like, ooh, you over time will have patterns. You'll be strengthened through the responsibility. You'll have clarity, and you'll also be willing to carry it instead of quitting all the time. Purpose, usually people that are living a purpose-driven life do not quit that. And because we're talking about legacy, we want to connect all of it, because purpose and habits and legacy, they all go together. They really, really do. So what is habits? What are habits, right? We like to say that habits are a part of our legacy architecture. Let me give you some research, because I need to let you know it's proven. Research in behavioral psychology shows that habits form through repetition, tied to cues and environment. Habit stacking, attaching a new behavior to an existing routine, increases sustainability. That means you're not out here saying, I don't know if I could do this another year. The problem is not that we lack intention, because most of us, including me, we have that. We have intentions. I intended to do this. Hopefully I'll do that. I intended to start the book. I intended to start the business. I intended to go to that class. I intended to do these things, right? We have that. We don't have a lack of intention. The problem is that we lack structure. And for some of us, that seems like someone is trying to hold you in and hold you back. And I'm a free flow kind of person. I just go with it. I flow with it. Regardless, that's still kind of a structure that you've created for yourself. You do not live your purpose occasionally because you feel it today. You feel it this week. You feel it this month. You live it structurally. I live my purpose structurally. Habits are the invisible architects of your future. What you repeat, you reinforce. What you reinforce, you become. I got up this morning and I said to myself, let me go for this walk, right? Maybe the weather wasn't the best. Maybe it's not what I want it to be outside. But what I do know is I need to move my body. And I have a habit of moving my body, which is a part of my health, which is part of my commitment. And we repeat that, not out of excitement all the time, but because it's important. And so we reinforce it. And when you reinforce it, you become. So I'm becoming healthier. I'm becoming more fit. This is how habits are formed. If your habits do not support your calling or your purpose or the divine design of you, your calling will remain aspirational. I feel inspired, and you never get to the fullness of it. And here's where it becomes practical, because purpose is really practical and habits are things we do repeatedly, right? Cognitive science tells us that humans experience decision fatigue. Woo, child. I have experienced decision fatigue where I'm like, I cannot make another decision today. The more decisions we make throughout the day, the weaker, did you hear me? I'm talking to you. The weaker our self-regulation becomes. So if your purpose depends on willpower, because you're excited or you feel aspiration, if it depends on willpower, it will eventually collapse. You will not be able to do it. Purpose must be embedded into routine. That's where we set time aside, where our calendar, I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's where we're doing certain things that align with our purpose, and we're not wasting our lives and we're not wasting our time, and we're building our legacy intentionally through these habits. So here's some questions you want to ask yourself, and here's some questions I've asked myself. Does my morning routine reflect my values? We've been talking about morning routines for a moment here. And when I say we, I'm talking about the people in the streets, the people psychology, the coaches, people that understand, health advisors, that a morning routine is important. So you want to ask yourself, does my morning routine reflect my values? Here's another question. Does my schedule reflect my calling, reflect my purpose? Are my reoccurring commitments aligned with who I say I am, right? Do I have this place where my commitments are really showing up for who I say I am? Because here's the truth. Before anyone summarizes your life, my life, our life, your schedule has already revealed what matters the most to you. And that is so true. When you look at your week and you look at what you spent time in, you're like, this is what mattered for me. I got up this morning. I thought about some meaningful things I wanted to put in my calendar that were personal to me. And I know my calendar already has work commitments. It already has schedules of, you're doing the podcast, you have to do this, you have to do that. You want to write another book. You want to, you have to speak. You want to do this, you want to do that. You want to be healthy. So I already have all these things, but I looked and said to myself, there are some meaningful things in my calendar that I need to add. And this is a part of legacy building. This is a part of my habits. Putting meaningful things into the calendar and into the space of my life. I want you to know that time allocation is legacy formation. I'm going to say that again. Time allocation is legacy formation. Man, I've been really disciplining myself with time because I saw that's the gift we have, right? It's time. And I'm looking at my life this year and I'm saying to myself, how am I allocating? How am I designing my days, my weeks, and what does time look like for me? And so, time allocation is legacy formation. And so let's have a little fun, right? Go ahead and pull out your, some of you have it written, it's a book. You might have like a 2020 whatever book that you write all your dates and your calendar in. And maybe you're like me, you do both. I do have the digital calendar on my phone, the app that I use, and I put things in. And, we got fancy and now we put them color coded and we have sub calendars and all of these things. We want to do a calendar audit. And this is why it's important. I actually do this, y'all. I sit down and look at my calendar. I have a work calendar and I have a personal calendar, and all work things, I try to make sure they merge with the personal and the personal merge with the professional so that we can see what's really going on. So I'm going to say to you, open up your calendar from the last 30 days. Just open up your calendar from the last 30 days. And this is what I want you to look at. Where your time went. Because I know we all be like, I need more time. I need more time. I didn't ask for more time in the last 3 years. I've been asking for a review and an audit to show me where I've been actually putting time and where I've been wasting time. So look at where your time went. Who received your energy? Who received the best of you? Who received the thoughts and the creative side of you? Who received that? Look at your calendar and see who received that. Was it business? Was it family? Was it friends? Was it you? And here's one more question. What task dominated your attention? This is an audit. We're just doing an audit because we're talking about legacy, and there's so many things that we all decided we want to do. But we're telling ourselves, I can't do it like you, girl, or I can't do it like you, man. Oh, bro, how are you able to get that, thing done? Da, 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 da. How are you able to manage this? How do you balance that? A lot of the times we need to do an audit of our calendar. Now I want you to compare what you say you want to do, what you've written down. If some of your values are family, how much of it have you protected in your time? Is your calendar showing family time? If you say your value is about spiritual growth, I really want to grow spiritually. I really want my faith to be strong. I really want to get close to the Father. I really want to do the things that He wants me to do. How much uninterrupted time did you invest? That's in your calendar audit. If you say your value is excellence, where did you prepare instead of rush? That anxiety moment, that stress, last minute, try to get it done, right? Your calendar is a mirror. If you don't even write things down, that's also an audit, which lets you know like, oh, I forgot that. Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, I didn't see what's coming. That's also a part of it. Your calendar doesn't lie. Whether you have it on there or not, it doesn't lie. It reveals what you prioritize when it becomes full. Legacy is built where time is consistently invested. I literally this morning when I was walking, I said, I really would like to pour into more people. I just don't know how that looks, which means I have to do another calendar audit to see where I'm putting time and how I can plug in this moment where I am investing time into more people in the way that I can. And doing this podcast is one of them. So let's see. You've done that audit with your calendar, and some of you are probably still doing it, and I want you to finish that. All right? That's really important that you do that. Write it down. Get a little notepad or something and just really look at it. Take a review of it. And every now and then, I think you should really do an audit of your calendar so you can see what you've done. You might have went to a conference. You said that conference, was it important? Was it something that was good for your life? Was it increasing your growth, or was it just something you wanted to go because it felt good, right? And I'm not against those things. I'm just saying that when we're talking about our habits, sometimes we do a lot of feel good, but we're not doing a lot of purpose good, all right? So the legacy decision matrix, here we go. Let's go a little deeper, because when you're here with Optimum Living, I want to talk about some things. So before you accept any opportunities or commitments, and I did this, y'all. I did this years ago. At first, I thought I was being like real proud or thinking that I was better than other people. I just started to filter my life through my purpose. And I was like, every invitation is not for me. Everything is not for me. And although I really like those people and I think what they're doing is amazing, I had to see does this even align with my core values? And this is the question you need to ask yourself. If you're taking opportunities, if you're going places, if you're doing things, does it even align with your core values? Does it support the current season you're in? I just told myself yesterday, there's something that I've gone to for the last 2 years that I really enjoyed. It really impacted my life, and I thought it was so good. But I'm in a season, in a place where I said, I don't believe I'm going to go this year. That's how it looks. It's not that you're changing so much you can't attend it again. Is that, does this moment in my life, in the time and my habits, will it allow me to do this one thing? And then here's another thing. Does this move me towards the long-term impact that I want to do? Or is it just short-term validation? Oh, they invited me. I can't believe that. I'm on the panel. Oh, those things are good. Don't get me wrong. But you don't want to be in rooms that are not really designated for you, and you can't make that impact based on purpose. And I'll say it like this. When I had started my skin product business, Symphony Body Products, I remember that I started vending. I started going to events to vend. And I remember the last time I went to an event and I didn't sell. I think I might have sold two items, which meant that I had invested time, I had invested money, I invested a lot to go there. And the event in itself was a very nice event. But while I was there, I took this assessment and I looked at myself and said, this was a waste of time. Now, someone else would have said, no, that wasn't a waste of time. You got to put yourself out there. I'm telling you that putting yourself in spaces that do not align with your purpose, if you create habits of just wasting time, then you're always going to find yourself in a place of frustration. So I was there, and when I was packing up, I was speaking to someone, and this is what we both said to each other. I didn't know her very well. She was vending, I was vending. And this is what she said, and this is what I said. I said to her, this was really a great event. And she said it absolutely was a great event. And I said to her, I don't believe this was an event for me to be a vendor, because the people in which I need to serve with my products are not here. And she said, oh my gosh, I said the same thing to myself. And that's exactly how it works. And after that day, when I packed up my car and I was driving home, I took it as a aha moment, light bulb moment, a growth moment, an illuminating moment, whatever you want to call it, so that I would not just want to have short-term validation. I was out here vending. I put it on social media and people clapped it up. That's not what I want. I want it to be where I'm making long-term impact. So I decided, you know what, Symphony Body Products is not going to be vending at certain events, because the people that are attending those events are not the people looking for my products. Now I wrote some books, so now, I might bring my books, but that's the difference of how it looks. So sometimes we're saying yes to opportunities that look good, but they're not actually aligned with purpose. and they're not helping us to get to that legacy building like we want to. So activity is not the same as alignment. So you don't want to just fill your calendar and your life with a lot of activities. You want to make sure that there's an alignment with who you are and what you're doing and how your habits are, repeatedly leading you into that place of legacy building rather than just wasted time that get on your nerve and you get on your own nerve. And again, remind yourself, busyness is not the same as impact. Just because a person says, oh my gosh, from this time to this time, or this is what I was doing, blah, 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 doesn't mean that you are making impact. A part of the reason our purpose is important is that we're designed for impact, right? If I'm walking and living in my purpose, I'm supposed to be making impact. Distraction. All of us know that we've had distractions, but sometimes there are so many great distractions that are cloaked in our lives. We're not even aware that they are. So distraction is one of the quietest thieves of legacy. I will say that again. Distraction is one of the quietest thieves of legacy. Purpose-driven habits require saying no, 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 more often than you even realize. It also means when you have purpose-driven habits, you're reducing unnecessary commitments. Because once you committed to all of this, your best friend did this, or somebody you really like and admire did this, and you want to show up for people. And don't get me wrong, but if you keep showing up so much, when are you really allotting time to do some of the hard things? Because some things in life take a lot more time than we think. So purpose-driven habits also require creating structural boundaries that are good. And every season is different. Some seasons I was able to attend a lot of things, really support some people, and really show up in big ways. And then there were seasons where I had to be selective and I couldn't show up big, but I could show up. So you have to figure that out. And when you're doing a purpose-driven habit, it's protecting your time for what compounds over years. So this year, you may not see how what you did last year, if you don't do that audit, how you could be wasting time. So you just want to look at your life and you want to assess it. And you don't want to just be like, I hope that this year I could do better. You want to be intentional by looking at it, seeing your life. You are responsible for that. And you're building legacy every day. So make sure you are intentional to go in there and do the work. Legacy erosion really happens dramatically. So you start off really good and then you are like, I don't know what happened to me, right? I don't know what happened. I was doing so good. I was walking it out. But legacy erosion happens gradually. It's something that we got distracted or some kind of big thing hit our lives. A storm came in, a drama, things came in and we're not sure. So this is how we build it and we stay consistent. This is what I love about my life and what I've learned is that optimum living is not about these big old leaps and big old jumps. I'm learning that they're daily habits that I've been doing, some of the things for 20 something years, some of the things for 10 years, some of the things for 15 years, right? And when I get off track, I could get back in alignment because I do have these great habits that I can restructure and realign myself with. And that's what I want for you. I want the same thing. So if it's happening gradually, I want you to be able to pay attention to it. But this is how it happens through small compromises, deferred conversations, chronic overextension. So you're doing too much, emotional reactivity. You feeling good about it. You feeling sad about it. You feeling guilty about it, whatever it could be, or neglected disciplines. I am in a season of great discipline. I woke up and I was like, this is discipline in a way that I've never lived it. And I want to say that I have been cultivated by the Holy Spirit to have temperance, but this is a different kind. So the reverse is also true. Legacy, strength builds gradually. So say that I'm building my legacy strength gradually. So you do it through prayer, intentional conversations, financial discipline, health stewardship, consistent preparation. You do not become a legacy builder in one decision. Oh, I'm a legacy builder. No, you do it over and over and over. You become one through repetition. And remember, it don't always feel exciting, but this is what you're supposed to be doing. All right. Listen, if someone observed your daily decisions for the next year, what story would they predict your life is telling? This is a big one. Let me ask this question again. This is our closing reflection. We're thinking about this, right? We're coming to this part where we want to leave this episode reflecting. If someone observed your daily decisions for the next year, What story would they predict your life is telling? I'm going to pause there. I want you to think about it. Not what you hope your life is telling, what you repeat, what they're able to see if they were watching you for a whole year. Purpose is not proven in vision statements, although we have a lot of them and it is good to have one. Purpose is not proven in vision statements. It is proven in structure, and structure determines legacy. That's where we are today. I want to remind you that you are a legacy builder, and in this season, that's what we're talking about. And I don't want you to go through this, spiraling because you don't think that you've been doing it. I just want you to take the tools that I just gave you, do the calendar audit, sit down and ask yourself those questions, watch this again, and don't forget to share it out. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you are in your legacy building. And if you also know your purpose, leave me a comment. Let me know. All right. Share. Thank you so much for tuning into Optimum Living. So happy that you were here with me. I'm Sybil Bull, helping you grow, live fully, and unlock the life that you were created to enjoy. Until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful, and keep reaching for the life that God has shown you. And remember this, you are designed to live an optimum life. Until next time, I'll see you soon.